What's going on, y'all? Thank you for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. So, Jeff Teague speaks on the Clippers' behalf in regards to them being very old as a team. And Jeff Teague says, about 3 years ago, he would have looked at this team more as a contender, looked at them more as a threat, because everybody else would have at least been closer to their prime rather than closer to being out of their prime. Now, that may bode well for some players on the Clippers. So, from his perspective, I can sit here and say I can agree, because you want youth on your team too. And you want youth on your side rather than being at a point where you're maybe not on your way out of the NBA, but you're on your way out of the prime abilities that you have to be at your highest heights or at the highest of your game, playing at the highest level. Now, I still think Kawhi has that. I still think these guys on the team now with Bradley Beal and them, they still have enough to find a way to win. I really do. Now, but I will say this, they better win now, because waiting, if they don't find a way to put it together this upcoming season after season gets harder, teams get better, trades happen, all the above. And on top of that, you as the Clippers, you're getting older. So even listening to Jeff Teague showing his displeasure for the team, I can see where he's coming from just because of the age difference between them and a lot of other teams. The Clippers are probably the oldest team in the NBA. So their window of opportunity of winning a championship is very small. And especially going into this next season, they have to find a way to at least make it to the NBA Finals, because Chris Paul won't be around the season after, I don't think. A few others, Nicholas Batum and a few others won't be there. Maybe even with the likes of Brook Lopez, players like that won't be there. And who knows, maybe even Kawhi Leonard might walk out the door. So, if they're going to win it, it's going to have to be this year. They can't do a 2-3 year window like they have that much time, and like their knees and their body and their backs and their whole everything is going to hold up for that long. It's just probably not going to happen, especially, like I said, with money and trades and, free agency opportunities. You got to capitalize now if you're the Clippers. So I definitely will concede to what Jeff Teague is saying in regards to their old team, but I still do think they have an opportunity to win this season, because they are a very stacked roster and they have some youth in there with John Collins and Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. Fortunately, those guys are really not scorers like a Kawhi and or a Bradley Beal or James Harden, but at the same time, they still can contribute to the team on both ends of the floor, somewhat anyway. So I definitely think that what they have, if they put the nucleus together the way it's supposed to be put together, which Ty Lue is orchestrating that, hopefully to God that he orchestrates it the right way, they will have an opportunity to be a contender to walk out of the West and go into the finals and possibly win it. They will be a contender. They will contend enough to do that if they stay healthy. And the problem with the team is if, of course, it's always if with the Clippers, even when they didn't have this roster constructed. But at the same time, I do like the balance they have. Chris Paul running the second unit, and long as the second unit basically buys into how he plays and being a coach on the floor, they're fine, which they should, because they're not big egotistical type guys. They have guys in their second unit that know their role, and they're not trying to really step on nobody's toes to get ahead. They're just really trying to play their role, so to put this whole operation together so they can win. So, as long as everybody on the team knows their role and knows who the main guys are, and Ty Lue pretty much keeps everybody at an even playing field in regards to mentality and what they're expected to do, and go out there and execute it at the highest level possible, and if the team stays healthy, I think we have a very, very good, Clippers team that can contend in the Western Conference and contend for a championship. And can probably compete very well against OKC and knock them out of the way if they have to face OKC in a 7-game series, or any other team, including Denver, any other team in the Western Conference. And even going to the Eastern Conference, if they make it to the finals, I like their chances there too, if they make it to the finals. But as far as Jeff Teague and what he was saying, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to agree to that. simply because, you heard a lot of media people and Kendrick Perkins and a few others say that the Clippers are a very old team, even though they have a nice roster. Their roster is pretty much, expired, outdated, all those type things. And it's just not enough belief around a team that has a bunch of elder statesmen who, more likely, as the season goes on, they get more fatigue and injuries can more or less come in with a veteran type player, which is very understandable. But at the same time, if they're managed well, if they play the right way, they can find themselves actually going into a lot of games, blowing teams out and having opportunities to sit late fourth quarter where they're not trying to fight for their lives down to the last seconds of the game like they've been doing in a lot of games that we've seen over the years, to where it's like, okay, you have the better team as the Clippers. Why is this game coming down to the last possession? If you took care of the ball better, if a lot of things the Clippers could have been doing better. But now that they have this roster with a Chris Paul and James Harden directing the offense and Kawhi at the head of everything, being the guy that he's always been, with everything around them and the good pieces that they have surrounding him and them, well, it all could and should work out if health is on their side. If the health guys on the Clippers side, I think they have a great chance to beat anybody. I really do. So I'm not really going to sit here and negate what Jeff Teague said in regards to like being a hater or something like that, because I can see his vision, because a lot of people see it that way. I just look at it like, hey, they are an older team, but they have an opportunity if they stay healthy and if they find a way to gel. They really do. And we have to see how it turns out. But I do like the Clippers' chances if they stay healthy. I really do. I don't really like nobody in the West over them in a 7-game series if they're healthy. And especially if Kawhi is healthy with these pieces, they can make a run at it. And hopefully, maybe they can silence all their doubters.